Hello everybody and welcome to my video today, you guys. I am so excited that the new annual catalog has launched and you guys can now view that catalog and order from it, and it's a lot of fun. I did a walkthrough earlier this week of it, so I hope you will check that out if you have questions about the new catalog. But I thought I would dive in and I would show you a fun card that I made, and we're gonna do another sort of maybe more difficult technique. Last week, I did the floating frame technique and you guys loved it. I was so excited to receive a lot of comments of encouragement and support as I dove in and just tried something new. So I thought today I would do it again and we would just do this together and I would see what you guys thought of this technique. So in order to do this card, we are going to use the Bloom and Grow stamp set. Now this has a set of dies that go with it, but I'm not going to be using the dies that go with this set. I am just going to be using the stamp set, okay? So then I also did a bunch of coloring. So these are the colors I used. I used Poppy Parade, Old Olive, I did Mango Melody. I know that our Mango Melody stamp pad, it's more orange, like it's more of an orangey tone. I feel like the markers come out more yellow. So I don't know if anybody else has that experience, but I tend to use these colors when I am wanting yellow. And then I used Pool Party. I did, when the catalog went live, I did order all the brand new blends. And you guys will be seeing my haul of new product here as soon as I get it. So I used my blend markers, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use my stitched circle framelits here, and I have bought two sets of the exact same framelits. So I have, or dies here, so I have like twice as many as you would normally, and that's because I use them so much, and with needing them for business purposes and prepping kits and stuff, I just needed to have more. So a couple things that I've done to get started, because when you guys see what I'm going to do, I don't know how it's going to go. So right now I have a Pool Party piece of cardstock right here, and it is folded, so it's going to be my card base. Then for a layer, I have the Poppy Parade piece of cardstock, and this cardstock I ran through my Big Shot with the Settles. Can you guys see that? The Settles embossing folder. So I would have a little bit of texture to this. Here, let me get my camera to focus again. There we go. Okay, so let me show you what I did. Look how gorgeous this is. So here is this beautiful piece that I colored basically. So I took this image here and I stamped it several times and then I colored it. So I did the flowers in Poppy Parade. I did the leaves in Old Olive. There's pops of yellow on here. And then all in between, I did the light Pool Party. I'm going to pop a clip in here of me doing some of the coloring. And you will notice here when I'm doing the coloring that I just show you a couple. I didn't do the whole coloring on camera for you, but I showed you some of the flowers that I did, and then some of the leaves, and then some of the pool party. And you can just see that I used the light and the dark marker to create my shadowing. And then I used my Wink of Stella to go ahead and add some glimmer to that. And then the very last thing I did, which you don't see in the clip, is I added some glossy accents to the yellow dots. You can kind of see they kind of look like glass. Can you see that shine right there? It kind of caught the light right there perfectly. So it's all dry now. This took me about an hour to color. It was definitely more time than I wanted to spend on a card. You guys know I don't particularly love coloring, but to be honest, I was feeling a little overwhelmed by a lot of things, and I thought, what better way than to just go ahead and turn on a show and do some coloring. So now what we're going to do, this is going to be the scary part, and I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I didn't want to create 2 of these to try this kind of technique out. And so I'm just going to try it out on camera with you guys because I only have the one colored image. So what I have here is my magnetic plate, and then I have a clear plate. And then we're going to lay this piece down. And then I have another clear plate right here. And we're going to use that in a minute. But what I'm going to do, this piece right here is a 5x7 piece. So it's a little bit larger than your normal card base. And what we're going to do is we are going to lay out all of these pieces. I'm just using these stitched circle dies. And I am going to layer these all over the place. And I'm going to cover as much of this as possible. But I don't want to use the small ones a ton, because I really want to be able to get a lot. This was a lot of work, you guys, to color all this, right? So let's try not to use the super small ones. Maybe we'll use this one right here. Actually want that there. It's up, and we're gonna see what has happened. Okay, so here's our pieces. Now it's not gonna matter, I mean, I don't have to keep these in any certain order. I just want all of my pieces. And these ended up, they look beautiful. See, this didn't, this was my fear. So this did not cut all the way through. This is why I ran it through twice. But it left a line, so I was able to snip it. I don't know if I'll use it. Okay, so we have that piece. And now we have this piece. Okay, so are you guys nervous? Because I'm very nervous about whether or not this is going to work. Okay, so I have my pieces here. Let's zoom in and bring our card back over here. So we're just going to work on the card front because then I'm going to layer this on top of my pool party. So now what I want to do is take these pieces and I can place these on here. Now, they're not all going to fit because this piece of Poppy Parade is smaller than the piece that I cut everything from. Does that make sense? decided on my placement, and I'm using my ATG gun because this is a very aggressive adhesive. And so what I want to do is make sure that this is going to stick down because this is textured. So I am not popping any of this up. I'm making it super flat, and you want to make sure that everything is dry. Once you've colored everything, and then you can see that I am basically covering the whole piece of colored cardstock here. I'm covering it all with the adhesive and then pressing it down. Okay, now I'm thinking about popping this one up. So let's do that. Let's just do it. We're just diving in and we're doing these techniques and we're hoping for the best. Okay, so I'm going to use a small piece of foam here. That there. Now let's go ahead and put some foam on this and pop this piece up, and then we'll do the sentiment. Hey guys, let me come back on here and wrap up these cards because I totally forgot to film. I actually got interrupted. Somebody stopped by my house, and so I turned my camera off, and then when they left, I just went right back to it, and I didn't film the ending of the card. So what I did, the last part that you saw was I popped up this circle right here. So you can see it has a little bit of dimension. And then what I did is I grabbed a white circle. I did some gold embossing, and I just used hello here, and then I popped that piece up as well. So there's some dimension on these two, and I layered it right here. I came back with my Nuvo gold dots, and I didn't usually use the pale gold. That's my favorite, but I used this really deep gold, and I just added these dots kind of all over the place. So this was the first one, and then I just attached it to my pool party card base, and then these cutouts look so cool. First, they look really cool against the blue card base because it just looks like it kind of continues, and it definitely these that are flat and kind of are on these corners. So I never could have imagined that cutting them out with the circle would have turned out so well, but I'm so glad it did because I really love this card, and I love the gold on it. So the next thing I did, which I wanted to film this for you guys too, this is a little bit maybe of an easier way to do this cut, like this stamping and cutting technique. I just took this, this is a Poppy Parade piece of cardstock, and you can see right there, see all that gold? So I embossed this square, so it wasn't cut at all, and I just stamped it with Versamark, and then I embossed it with gold, and it was all one piece. And then you can see I cut it here in half. So imagine the square together, and I cut it in half, and then I cut it in half again. So then what I did is the squares are popped up. You can see those dimensionals, and they are layered on a pool party piece of cardstock, which is then layered onto a Whisper White card base. So then I have some gold thread right here, and then I stamped that sentiment in the middle. So this image right here has been cut apart and pulled apart to add that sentiment. And then the very last thing I did on this one is I just added some gold sequins. So this one was much easier than this one. Well, first this one was the coloring, and you saw all of that, but then when I cut this apart with the circles, you saw it was kind of like a puzzle, and I had to try to figure out how the layout would work. And because it was circles, it was probably harder. So this one with the squares, it was much easier, and it came together much easier. Like the idea in my head kind of worked a little bit easier, and then I just love all of the gold. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this technique. I am sorry that I did not film the very end of putting all this together, but I hope that you like the way these cards came out, and please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed enjoyed this technique as well. And I am on the hunt to find some more difficult techniques that maybe I wouldn't be drawn to right away to share with you guys, because I just love the support and the excitement that you guys have shown as I have just tried some different things. So thank you guys so much. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Don't forget to get your orders in for the brand new catalog and the brand new product that's there. I'm loving it. I can't wait for my order to get here so I can share with you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow to share another project with you. I hope you guys have a fabulous Thursday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.